The ink was still fresh, bleeding onto the endless paper, a silent testament to the night's work. A sequence of characters circled in red pen stood out, 6EQUJ5. In the margin, a single word, wow. No one witnessed the moment, the machine simply listened, recording the faint whispers of the cosmos. But that night, something else spoke, something that should not have been there. The red circle marked a profound deviation from the norm, a perfect, structured, utterly alien pattern that appeared and vanished without warning. The printout was not just data, it was evidence of an event, a 72-second tear in the fabric of what was known. The sequence 6EQUJ5 was a phantom, no precedent, no known natural laws. The anomaly was not just a blip in the data, it was a rupture in our understanding. And humanity, for a brief instant, listened. The mystery had begun. In the quiet fields of Ohio, the Big Ear stood, a monument not of stone, but of metal and wire. Its purpose, to listen to the silent, invisible universe. Day and night it scanned the heavens, patient and methodical. Data flowed constantly, a river of numbers as astronomers searched for the unusual. The Big Ear was tuned to hydrogen's frequency, a universal signpost. On August 15, 1977, the waiting ended. The Big Ear heard something extraordinary. The search had changed forever. On a summer night, the Big Ear swept across Sagittarius, machinery humming, computers processing. Then, for 72 seconds, a signal of stunning intensity pierced the static. A sharp spike, recorded and gone. It was over 30 times stronger than the background, with a perfect curve, rising and falling. The code, 6EQUJ5, peaked at U, a symmetrical rise and fall. No known natural object could produce such a focused, narrow band transmission. Like a celestial lighthouse, it left only a ghostly signature. And a question, who or what was out there? The investigation began. First, rule out earthly explanations. Could it have been a secret satellite, a classified experiment? No known satellites were in that region, a reflection from space debris. The calculations didn't add up. A reflected signal would be weaker, less clean. Every conventional door was tried, and every door was locked. The search turned back to the stars. The telescope was pointed again at Sagittarius. Scientists listened, waited, only silence. For months, then years, dozens of searches. Nothing found. The source had gone quiet. The silence was more disturbing than the signal itself. A deliberate beacon would likely repeat. A natural phenomenon might flare again. But this was a single, isolated event. A solitary cry in the cosmic dark. The signal was narrowband, a hallmark of artificial transmission, yet it contained no information, just a pure, clear tone. Why would an intelligent civilization broadcast such a powerful, empty signal? The lack of repetition defied logic. The anatomy of this echo was contradiction. Too perfect to be natural, too strange to be intentional. The evidence led only to more questions. The signal was a ghost in the machine, its nature more elusive with every attempt to grasp it. It was a perfect piece of evidence for something that could not be proven. And sometimes, late at night, I still wonder if, for a brief moment, we caught something looking back. Or if it was only ever our own curiosity echoing in the dark. At the heart of the mystery lies the signal's frequency. About 14 to 20 megahertz. This is the natural emission frequency of neutral hydrogen, the universe's most abundant element. Known as the hydrogen line, it's a universal constant. Any civilization with basic physics would know its importance and would expect others to listen here. The wow signal was incredibly narrow band, a pure tone, confined to a tiny sliver of the radio dial. To create such a signal requires technology. A transmitter. Natural, cosmic events broadcast noise across a wide range. This was a deliberate act. The signal's narrowness is an imprint of non-randomness, a suggestion of intent, of mind. If artificial, Its creators chose the most obvious, universal channel. Not an obscure frequency, but the one any technological society would monitor. It's the cosmic equivalent of broadcasting on the main public channel, a public announcement. But what was it announcing? The signal was devoid of content, a pure, unmodulated tone, not a message, but perhaps a demonstration. Look what we can do. Imagine a civilization demonstrating its power by creating a perfect, powerful signal on the most fundamental frequency, a display of capability without the burden of communication. It says nothing, yet implies everything. The signal was not a word, it was a signature, a mark left on the universe, waiting to be found. Over the years, many have tried to explain the wow signal. One theory, a passing comet releasing hydrogen gas, generated the signal, but the comets proposed weren't discovered until decades later, and no other telescope has detected a similar signal from a comet. The comet theory requires a unique, unrepeatable set of circumstances, one mystery replacing another. Another theory, human error or interference, perhaps a terrestrial signal reflected into the telescope's beam, but the signal's profile matched the rotation of the Earth and the telescope's fixed view. Unlikely for a moving aircraft or ground source, the signal appeared stationary, fixed against the stars. These explanations offer comfort, but don't fit the facts. Each attempt leaves unsettling questions unanswered. Why has it never been seen again? Why was it so strong? Why did it mimic an extraterrestrial beacon? Theories feel like attempts to rationalize the inexplicable. But the signal resists. It remains defiantly an anomaly. Sometimes, I find myself wishing for a simple answer, but all we have is a piece of data that refuses to fit our understanding. Let's entertain a more disturbing possibility. The signal was artificial, a deliberate act. The hydrogen line is a protected spectrum. Terrestrial transmissions are forbidden, kept clear for radio astronomy. The sender would know this, or assume any advanced civilization would. This creates a chilling scenario. The signal wasn't meant for everyone, but for those listening. Not a galactic lighthouse, but a sniper's shot. A focused beam aimed at a precise point in space and time. It was aimed at us, or rather at the space our planet occupied on that day, at that hour. If it was targeted, why only once? Perhaps it was a test, a probe to see if anyone was listening. By transmitting a powerful, empty signal, the sender could gauge our technological level without revealing themselves. Our silence may have been the answer they sought, or perhaps the signal was a warning, a demonstration of power, a way of saying, we are here, we are powerful, and we see you. The emptiness of the signal becomes its most terrifying feature, a show of force without intent. It offers no comfort, no context, just a fact. We are not alone, and whatever else is out there is capable of things we cannot comprehend. The hydrogen line was not a meeting place. It was a firing range. The signal's silence was its message. The universe had spoken, and we could only listen. The implications remain unsettling. The true weight of the wow signal isn't the 72 seconds of noise, it's the decades of silence that followed. The Big Ear telescope is gone, replaced by a golf course. Other telescopes have listened to that patch of sky. Nothing. The source has vanished. This silence is an active participant in the mystery. The lack of repetition is the most powerful argument against conventional explanations. A natural phenomenon might be rare, but the universe is old. An artificial beacon would almost certainly repeat. The wow signal was a singular event, defying expectations of both nature and intelligence. The silence forces us to confront uncomfortable possibilities. Was the signal an accident, a byproduct of alien technology? Or was the silence intentional, a single data point left for us to find? The silence is not absence, it is evidence. We are left alone with the echo. The red circle remains, the story retold, but no new data comes. The silence is a mirror reflecting our cosmic isolation. We are left in profound uncertainty. The wow signal is a perfect anomaly, resisting explanation, fitting no known pattern. There are things happening in the dark between the stars we do not understand. The event has become modern folklore, a story, a question, a mystery. It is a question disguised as an answer. It opened a door, and we have been staring into the darkness ever since. The signal was not a message in a bottle. It was a footprint on a shore we did not know existed. In the end, the wow. Signal reminds me how much of life is spent searching in the dark, uncertain, but hopeful. Sometimes the questions we find are what move us forward. What unknown shore might you discover next?